What's up, guys? So welcome to a whole new episode of Toy Addicts Anonymous. I'm Carlos, the Badass Reviews, and this is my brother.
What's up, Toy Addict 26 in the house? How's everybody doing?
What's up, man? How's everything?
Oh man, everything is wonderful. Everything is wonderful, man.
Yeah, like really hot today. But hey, listen, happy Labor Day to everybody. I hope you have like a very awesome weekend with your family, with your friends, having fun. Little vacation for everybody. But hey, today is about our special guest, and we are so happy to announce this amazing guest. But I'm gonna let my brother JP to do the honor. So let's go, my friend.
Oh man, today, our guest today is not only a modern pioneer in the world of music and dance, he has also been instrumental in bringing cultural visibility to the comic industry by way of his writings for Marvel Comics on Werewolf by Night and now the all new Echo Seeker of Truth series. Guys, I am so honored to welcome the one, the only Taboo Nawasha.
Well,
Wow. Thank you, boys. Thank you, guys.
What's
Happy
up,
Monday,
man?
boys. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday indeed, man.
happy Monday,
Yo,
man.
can I just start by saying how grateful I am to be able to be on your show. You guys are instrumental to people like me who are toy nerds, who are collectors, who are kids that just live through nostalgia through our toys and our collectibles and storytelling. You guys keep the energy going. So I'm just honored to be on this podcast with you guys.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, man. It's a real honor to have you here in the show. And like Jorge says, like, man, you're a pioneer on the music industry. Like how many bands and artists follow you through like all these years, and like you're an inspiration for everybody, and not just in the music industry, but also in the comic industry and the pop culture media, and that's really cool because not everybody can say, oh yeah, I'm a singer or I'm a dancer, but also I write comics,
Yeah.
and also I collect action figures. Like, man, it's like it's awesome and honored to have you here.
Gracias, hermano. Un placer. Thank you.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, no, I could say Taboo. When I told my 22-year-old, which basically grew up with Black Eyed Peas, I told him, dude, Taboo is going to be on with us. He was like, get the hell out of here. He couldn't believe it because
That's dope, bro. I
that's that,
appreciate that.
that's been like our soundtrack. Like
Mm,
listening to, I introduced my kid at a really young age to Monkey Business,
yes, sir.
to all the albums. And I was able to watch you guys live at your last show here in Florida. It was the last tour that you guys did with Fergie. And
Yep.
that was such an incredible show, man. And I can't wait to see you guys again. But
Oh yeah,
wow,
for sure. You know,
like
we just had a great. I just wanted to segue into this because we're talking about it right now. We just had a great Asia tour a couple days ago. We were in Manila, and my bandmate Apple Diap uh, is from the Philippines, and the fact that he came in 1989 to Los Angeles, California, was an immigrant kid from the Philippines, came to America to live out a dream, an American dream, met Will I Am at 14. And then I met them a couple years later. We became a crew of best friends. And we became Black Eyed Peas when we were 19 years old. And to be able to return to Manila in 2025 as a group of brothers who have been together for so many years, man. It's a testament to the love and appreciation that we have for each other, not just as a group, not just as musicians, but as brothers. And that's what I see with you guys. The fact that you guys have connected from the love of toys and storytelling and collectibles. You guys got to keep that energy going, bro, because we need more brotherhood. We need more kinship. We need more solidarity and camaraderie in different forms and different mediums so that we can have more people gravitate to the idea of collaboration and not being afraid to speak on things like this. And I think the music side lends itself to the storytelling that myself, Will I Am, and Apple have been doing for so many years. And it just, in turn, was an easy progression for me to go from music storytelling to comic book storytelling.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I mean, it's like Jorge said, like it's so wild because I told my daughter, she's a 12-year-old, right, and she's a dancer,
Hmm.
and I told her like, hey, listen, Uncle JP told me that we're gonna have Taboo in our show, right? And she was like, "Oh my God,
That's awesome, dude.
we play his music every day in the studio." I mean, she wants to be a professional dancer, like she competes and everything. So she loved you. She couldn't believe it, and she was telling all her friends, like, "Oh,
That's
my
cool.
dad is gonna have Taboo from
That's
Black Eyed
awesome.
Peas in the show."
Yeah.
So it was really really awesome just to see her face, and I believe the whole industry, you name it, like comics, action figures itself, I believe like we can give people a message, right? And put happiness in people's lives. And just like you said, camaraderie, like be together as a community, help each other, communicate. I believe that said a lot from the community, and I think it helps a lot. Just not like to put a happy face on people, but also mental health. Like it's to me it's priceless what you do for the
Yeah,
whole
man. And honestly, I'm gonna say this: like the fact that we're able to tap into the TikTok generation with kids that are 12 years old, that are young kids that maybe they weren't born in 2010 when Rock That Body came out, or I Got a Feeling, or Boom Boom Pow, or even 2003 when Where's the Love came out, or even 2005 when freaking Pump It came out with Monkey Business. Like these are the things that the new tools like TikTok and different streaming services have allowed us to continue reinventing ourselves to a newer demographic and a newer generation, which keeps our music timeless. And I'm just very thankful to all the people that have been supporting our music throughout the years. You know, our group spans 30 years of being a group. You know, we started in 1995. Not to date myself, but I dated myself, and it's okay because we're still going strong in 2025. So to be able to have that longevity and still continue doing it at a high level, it's important to know that we keep our foot on the gas. We don't get complacent. We're competitive. We're freaking, we're like the Thundercats. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We keep chipping away. And I think the Thundercats is a perfect example of different cats coming together. You know, Panthro being a panther, Chitara being a cheetah, and the twins being tigers. You know, I mean, Tigra being a tiger, and the twins being who they are. It just brings this energy of of different types of people coming together, and that's what Black Eyed Peas is. We're three different nationalities that came together to form this awesome team. You know, Will I Am is black, Mexicano, because he was born in East LA, so he really connected with the Mexicano community. Apple Diap, black and Filipino from the Philippines. Myself, I'm Mexicano and Native American. So these things brought us together so that we can form this amazing trio that stands the test of time from 1995, still going strong in 2025.
just listen, by the fact that this little lady right here, she asked me to be here and say hi,
What's
just by the
up?
fact that she's 12 years old,
That's
and
awesome.
she listened to your music and inspire her to dance, to do what she does in stage and stuff like that. That's like really really like storytelling, like
Yes,
what
sir.
you do goes like beyond time. Like it's something that kind of like create memories in people, but not just our generation, but her generation
Yeah.
and the future generation. so,
Yeah.
so the message is there, and
Yeah.
you guys are doing insanely awesome with that.
Thank you, bro. I
Absolutely.
appreciate that. And you know, it's a testament to our friendship. You know, the music that we create is just us in the studio having a good time. We don't ever put any limits or pressure on ourselves to try to outdo what we've done in the past. You know, it's hard to make one hit record. To be able to have multiple hit records is it's an anomaly, and we're very blessed and thankful that people have received our music worldwide. It's an international conversation. It's not just a U.S. conversation, and
Mhm.
so we receive that with humility, with with ultimate gratitude, because we know that without our fan base we wouldn't be who we are. Without the 12-year-old kids that are dancing our music now in 2025 because of TikTok, we wouldn't be the group that we are. So we continue championing the idea of staying together as a group. And we love all the females that have sang with us, whether it was Kim Hill in 1990s or Macy Gray, Estero, Fergie in the 2000s, and now Jay Ray So in the 2020s. It's just it's beautiful to have our vehicle allow the conversation of just good people coming together to create great music around the world.
Absolutely, man. And one thing that I wanted to bring into the spotlight, obviously, we have to celebrate the music portion, but I think one of the things that really sets you apart from other people is the fact that you embrace and you foster, that it's okay to be a nerd, to be into toys, to be into collectibles. And it's funny because a lot of us are that. I'm sure there's so many people in the industry,
Right.
other musicians, that secretly that they love that. Secretly, they have that nerd side of them where they're either into comics or they're into collectibles. But you make it very known that, hey, I'm a toy collector. I
Definitely.
embrace it. Like you're geek proud. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm. Yep.
And it's funny because I just want to mention my wife. She's like, there's not a lot of men out there that I think are like you. I'm like, you will be surprised how many people are like secretly
Yep.
geeks, nerds. You know what I
Well,
mean?
well, I'll tell you this, dude. The 40-year-old virgin movie didn't really help us.
No,
I mean,
no,
it just put a stigma and
yeah,
it put a like kind of like a stereotypical perspective about people that collect. And for me, it's like I never gave a bleep about it, dude. I was like, yo, I'm a nerd, I'm a geek, and I love it because at the end of the day, the toys that made me a storyteller, dude. When I was in the backyard playing with my GI Joes, creating this world as a kid, or playing with my LJN WWF wrestlers, which I'm a big fan of wrestling. As you can see, my Rey Mysterio jacket. um I just always created stories, and it started with my action figures, and then it gravitated into music and writing poems and poetry, and then writing raps, and then eventually getting to a point where I met my co-writer B Earl, and we started collaborating on ideas of storytelling, for which was to become comic books. Do we lose
Wow.
JB? We lost
Yeah,
JB.
it looks like we lost him. But I got a question, like actually talking about that, about your action figure collecting and everything. Uh, what was your when you were a child, like, and we're talking about, I think we're like contemporary because I'm 49, almost 50 years old,
Yeah, I just turned
right?
50 July 14th, but it's okay. Bro, age is a number, bro, for
I'm
sure.
I'm I'm from October 2nd, 1975, right? So
Yep.
I grew up with G.I. Joe, and now
Yep.
that you tell me going into your patio playing with your G.I. Joe's action
Yep.
figures, that
Yep.
brings me so many good memories because I remember in vacation, we used to have my friends when we were little, we didn't have enough money. So like we actually have a plan, like, okay, so this guy is gonna buy the dreadnoughts, this guy is gonna buy the Joes, this guy is gonna buy the Cobras,
Cobra.
right?
Yep.
So we were kind of like making a plan to have all the collection from that year and kind of like play on our backyards, and we were making stories that takes like days. We left our
Exactly.
action figures there in the patio and come the next day to
Yeah.
keep playing the same story like in a movie.
Hmm.
I mean, which toy line out of Joe's, Masters of the Universe, of course, Thundercats, Transformers, which one was the one as a kid that actually marked you the most?
So there was two, and I'm a big geek when it comes to the companies that made the toys. You know, I fell in love with wrestling, lucha libre, at a
Okay.
very very young age, bro. Like at a young age, I was a geek when it came to you know Popitecus and Máscara Sagrada and freaking,
Blue,
Octagon,
Blue
the real
Demon,
Octagon, not the son
Blue
of
Demon,
Octagon. Like there was like straight up, and then you could go deeper in Blue Demon and Mil Máscaras and all these OG wrestlers. And
Los
then
Brazos.
yeah, bro. And then the territories came in, and you had the AWA and the WCW, I mean, excuse me, the NWA, and then you
And
had
then
WWF, which was Vince McMahon Senior's uh, um, wrestling organization. And then when Vince McMahon Jr. came into the mix, that's when Hulk Hogan and Iron Sheik and freaking Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, Tito Santana, all these wrestlers started to come into play. And so they created these wrestlers called LJN wrestlers, and they were this big and they
Yes,
were posed, right?
yes,
And
they
so
were cool.
they were
these
just
Walker
posed. They were
ones.
rubber wrestlers, but they were big.
Yep.
I got into LJN wrestlers at a very young age, and I loved, tossing them around and just creating these stories, battles, Royal Rumbles, all these amazing, crazy, even good guys versus good guys. I just didn't care. Face versus heel. I didn't care. I just wanted to create my own stories. And then as I got into wrestling, I also got into celebrating and highlighting indigenous characters. And so there was
Okay.
this character in G.I. Joe named Spirit. He was the only native dude, bro. The only native dude. There was Spirit and there was Snake Eyes that I really gravitated to. And so Spirit had a eagle named Freedom on his
Yeah.
arm. And so I would always play with Spirit as my guy. That was my guy that would be like either infiltrating Cobra, going after freaking the Dreadnoughts. It just was all this accumulation of storytelling, but it all centered around this indigenous hero. And so, not really knowing what I was doing, I was preparing myself to be a conduit of inspiration for indigenous heroes because I always gravitated to the indigenous one, the native one, because I was like, yo, I'm native. This is the guy I'm gonna rock with. I'm gonna show that this native dude is gonna be the hero. He's gonna be my lead. And so, without even knowing, I was preparing myself what was gonna become my Marvel Comics experience as a storyteller,
Calling,
as a
man. You're calling.
co-creator, as a co-writer.
Yeah, you're calling
That's
from a
great. So
very
you were a
early
fan
age.
of Wahoo McDaniels, where he was an indigenous wrestler. I think he was an AWA back in the
Yeah.
days.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I like Tatanka because he was from the Lumbee tribe. Tatanka was an actual native dude who was later on in the '90s, and he really represented, dude. Tatanka was a real, you know, a real awesome dude because he always gave back to community. I always heard his name throughout Indian country. I didn't really hear too much of Wahoo McDaniels. He was like more like a I don't know. I didn't really see him in Indian country, but I did see Tatanka doing stuff in community for sure.
Oh my God, that's really really cool. You know that those figures they're coming back, right? The
Yes.
the the rubber ones. I just
Yeah.
got the whole Hogan, and it was like sold out everywhere, and I was able to pick up one. It's still in pre-order in Target.com, I believe.
That's dope,
So
dude. Can I just say one thing? So one
yeah,
of the prized possessions, and I'm gonna announce this again on my podcast. One of my prized possessions that I was able to get a hold of that I wasn't able to attain as a kid, and I still have it in the box from 1984. It's still in the box. Is the USS flagship? Let me say it again, ladies and gentlemen. I have my holy grail. When people talk about toys and collectibles, my holy grail in 2025 is the USS flagship 1984
Man,
in the box. Never
that
open, never played with because I look at it as an art piece, bro. It's an
that's
art piece.
cool.
It's 7 feet long. And if you guys don't know what a USS flagship is, please look it up. Do your due diligence. Please be a student of the Joe era and understand what the USS flagship really means to toy hunters like myself.
That's a
that's
historical
that's
toy artifact
wild.
right there, bro.
Correct.
And you know,
Yes.
it's funny. Like because I was listening to you talking about that. I think it was in the, I think it was in your podcast episode with Kwame,
Yes,
where you
sir.
mentioned the USS flag,
Yeah.
Yeah,
and it's funny because I think about it, and in my various trips to Play World and and Toys R Us, I don't think I ever remember seeing that mammoth of a box in the toy aisle.
Yeah.
Like, I wonder if maybe your parents had to pay for it. You got like a ticket, and then they would bring it to the cash register.
I
Because
don't, bro. Honestly, I just saw the commercial, and I would always like dream, like, wow, what that would be like. And back then, $100, $115 was the retail,
It's a
bro.
lot.
That's a lot of money in '80s, right? 84, 84, whatever that 80 mark is. Like, bro, I just remember feeling like, wow, that's like that was like the oasis of toys for me because it was so big and it was just so like it was kind of like Galactus, right? You know how
Yeah.
Galactus is freaking huge and just this monstrous uh energy of a collectible. And so when I saw it in Vegas at a collectible spot, I was like, yo, dude, I'm gonna drop at the time I think I dropped 3 or 4 and now it's at 7, 8. You know what I'm saying? It appreciated to like 4K. So
yeah,
now it's like 7, 8 if you because it's still in the box. So the appreciation just keeps going up.
yeah, dude.
That's a wild piece to have. Like I seen the USS flag. Back in the days, like you said, it was pretty much impossible because like I'm not coming from a rich family. Back in the days when I was living in Panama, and I remember back in the days we have this store called Felix B. Maduro, which was like this store like Macy's, right? And they
Yeah.
have like the toy aisle and they have the USS flag all built in a big table. And I was just blowing away for that amazing piece of art. But I was a kid, right? And I
Yeah.
told my mom, can I get it? Can I get it? And she's like,
Yeah.
no, no, it's too expensive.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, now you pay like $100 for a figure like this size. Like, like
Yeah, bro. Like honestly, and the thing about it is, and some people will be like, "Yo, you spent that much money." Honestly, dude, I look at it as art pieces. If some people love art on their wall. Some
Yeah,
people, will get freaking art pieces as busts or as like vases or old art antiques. Like for me, I don't look at it as just like, oh, I'm playing with toys. It's like, no, dude, this appreciates. And if you look at the global impact that the collectible and toy and action figure space has really gravitated to, whether we're talking about Lububus, or whether we're talking about freaking toys and collectibles, hot sideshow, hot toys, East Bay, all these huge 16 scale or 12 scale models that are amazingly well detailed and articulated. They're going for a high price point, right? So for
yeah,
me, I look at everything that I collect as these are art pieces to me, and I want to showcase them. Eventually, maybe even have like a exhibition of all the stuff that I've collected, so that I can like pay it back to the community and let people know like this is an important part of my identity. And I don't shy away from it. I embrace it. I love being a geek. I love being a nerd, a toy collector, and I will live and die by that because that is something that's very valuable to me because it shows that I'm not scared. I'm not scared to run straight into that idea and the idea that it is a viable business globally.
yeah, like
absolutely.
listen, and I identify myself like really because to me it's kind of like really extreme that situation because I'm an MMA instructor, right? I've been doing MMA and Brazilian jiu-jitsu my whole life. I've been like maybe like 35 years doing this, and all my students when they find out that I was a geek and I was collecting action figures and I was doing toy reviews on YouTube and Instagram or taking toy photography, they were like, professor, you're a geek? And I'm
Yeah.
like, yes. Like
Yep.
you never see me wearing like an MMA shirt. I always wear my. They're like, yeah, but I thought it was kind of like a joke. We never thought that you were like a real geek.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yes, I
Yeah.
am. And
That's dope.
they were like totally blowing away about. Like, it's
That's
crazy.
great. That's great because we changed the perspective. Let's change the frequency of what it is to embrace that. No matter if you're a tough guy, if you have a hip hop bravado, like at the end of the day, we're all human beings, bro. And it's like if we collect and we love the nostalgia of that, and that's a little piece of our psyche that we open up, and it brings a good vibe. It brings the serotonin, the good feeling that you had when you were a kid, when you opened up that new box of toys or whatever it was. And as an adult, we always have to have this strong bravado and this strength and this sense of like reassurance. But at the end of the day, we also have that kid in us, that inner kid in us, that will never die, bro. Like we'll always have the childhood in us that made us. Like, you know, for you to have discipline to become a Brazilian jiu-jitsu instructor, to have that layer of like, I'm gonna have strength, I'm gonna have confidence, I'm gonna have bravado. But at the end of the day, when I go home, I want to be a geek, bro. I don't want to have to take you down to the mat and break your arm and freaking put you in a Brazilian jiu-jitsu hold. I want to just bug out and have a conversation about toys. You know, there it is.
Yep.
Yeah, that's
Oh
exactly.
yeah.
Oh, that's awesome, man.
This is a Jesse Hernandez Urban
Yes.
Aztec Iron Man, bro. This is really
Yes.
dope. It's an
Yeah.
exclusive sideshow.
Yeah. I saw Jesse at Comic-Con, man.
Oh, you did?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we saw.
dude. He's the man, dude. He works
Oh,
with
dude, I love that guy.
my buddy
Great.
Peter Santa Maria from Mondo. I don't know if you've seen his Takoro character.
No,
This
I
is
never
like
saw that one.
this is like his own character that he's created. Peter's my boy. We've known each other for like, I don't know, like 15 years. We're both Miami boys, and
Yep.
he's one of the senior art directors now at Mondo. And like his story is really kind of what's driven me to become more a creative, because
Mhm.
seeing his wins and his triumphs have said, told me like it doesn't matter, I'm gonna be 50 next year. I
Yeah.
can still, make my impact on the industry and do something. And it's funny because Carlos and I, we met in a very strange way. Carlos was my follower on YouTube when I had a channel called Toy Addict 26. And I used to geek out and do toy reviews and go, balls out doing like toy photography and stuff like that. And Carlos was my fan. And we ran across each other on Facebook one day where he had some figures.
Oh, we lost him.
Again. Oh my
We
God.
lost him again.
Well, it's pretty interesting because I was a fan of him, and I was selling a Mesco figure that he needed, right?
Right.
And he's like, "Oh, so you're here in South Florida?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm in South Florida. I'm in Coral Springs." And he's like, "Oh, I can go and drive there." And so we met. Keep continue.
My bad. I don't know what's happening. I think my computer is trying to like push me off. But anyways, so yeah, Carlos and I, long story short, became like brothers. This guy right here, man, he's like family. We're working on something really special. Hopefully, in 2026 will come to fruition.
Hmm.
It's been kind of like halted because of the tariff
Yeah.
situation and all that stuff. But we've got an action figure toy line with my buddy Eric Sosa, which is also from Mexican culture. He's from California. He's an
Nice.
amazing sculptor.
Yeah.
You probably own Taboo. You probably own tons of stuff that Eric has worked on. He's done statues for Kotobukiya. He's done figures for Super 7. He's
Ooh,
like
Super 7. Love it.
yeah, he's a sculptural powerhouse
Yeah.
in the industry, and he's the one that's sculpting my concept stuff into actual action figures. But yeah, the funny thing is, going back to the whole thing, one day somebody jumped in and they took over my YouTube channel and they put some cryptocurrency videos, and that made Google blacklist me, and they canceled
Wow.
my channel. They canceled my channel, deleted all my content, over 15 years of content down the drain. And I told Carlos, hey man, I'm gonna start all over again. I'm not gonna be like there just crying and just being bitter about it. I'm just gonna look at it like a rebirth,
Yeah.
And we traded places. Carlos is the toy reviewer now, and I'm the toy creator and artist, and that's all I'm focusing on. I'm here with him. I came up with Toy Addicts Anonymous. He's the host now. I've done all the art for us and stuff like that, but I'm letting him kind of steer the way into success because he's awesome. Everybody loves Carlos. He's a social butterfly, and basically, I'm just the co-host. I'm the Ed McMahon now. He's the Johnny
Nice.
Carson.
Love
So
that.
it,
Yeah.
it's one of those things where now it's like, okay, let's make some toys, and we still geek out on it and everything, but it's all about that representation.
Well, that
Hispanic, Panamanian, Cuban. You
yeah.
know what I'm saying?
And
Well,
every
that's kind of where my heart is too, dude. To be honest with you, like I feel like the passion as a fan and as a collector started very young, and then as I got older I was like, yo, where do I want to take this? Okay, I do a podcast called Taboo's Comics and Kicks. Like that's cool because I created a platform, and I'm able to speak to amazing guests and just channel the energy of geekdom and fandom and just being a toy nerd and a comic book guy and a sneaker guy. And I said to myself, like, eventually my goal is to create action figures as well. And so I created a prototype. I don't know if you saw it on my Instagram of a
Underwater.
hero called
Thunder,
Angryfoot. And that was with David Bonner. Shout out to David Bonner. He's an amazing designer who's done freaking WWE. He's done Marvel Legends. He's done all kinds of different action figures and collectibles. And so I said to myself, if I create an IP that is basically, the likeness, my likeness, but with this superhuman ability, turquoise being my favorite stone and an element that represents my culture, and that the turquoise is part of his DNA, just like the vibranium was for Black Panther. I feel
okay,
like it represents the idea of cultural representation as a superhero and being the first like proper indigenous representation. That's not some like watered down version of what Hollywood wants indigenous people to be. Um, I think that's where my heart is, bro, is bringing, proper indigenous representation, whether we're talking about Mesoamerica, whether we're talking about los Mexicas, Aztecas, or Mayan, or Toltec, all these different indigenous communities, Yaqui from Sonora, from Mexico, or we're talking about North American representation because that's where my grandmother's from. She is from Jerome, Arizona. We're proud to be Shoshone and Hopi. Those are our tribes. And the reality is, how can I be a conduit of hope and inspiration to those communities? Whether we're talking about the Latino community or we're talking about my native community, which we call Indian country, U.S. and Canada, and even around the globe, bro. Like bringing more indigenous representation to the masses in a very authentic, genuine way.
that's awesome. And I saw the character. I mean, and it looks fantastic. It looks really, really awesome. I really like that cyber type of combination with the indigenous and stuff like that. I mean, it's a really interesting combination, like just by the look of the character. And like I was trying to get references, like, and I'm like, man, this character actually looks really unique.
Yeah.
Aside from having the cyber parts and everything, it looks really unique. And I think you have a really like a potential like home run with that toy line if like if you keep going with it. I mean, it looks really awesome just by the look, not even knowing the story behind. It's really attractive to the
Well,
eye.
the story's pretty dope, bro. I added my own flavor to my story, to the back, to the bio, and the backstory of where he comes from, a man at a time, because I am a co-writer of Marvel. So I brought that same energy that
Yeah,
I put into Marvel Comics to my own story.
Mhm.
And of course it's sensationalized because it is a superhero. It's a man at a time, but at the end of the day, I wanted to really resonate with the idea of dreaming really big as a kid who was in my backyard playing with freaking Spirit, and now creating Angryfoot as a hero that is based on my likeness, but has so much potential to bring other worlds and other storytelling characters to the masses. And that's what I want to do, bro. Is like I want to bring other cultures, other communities to the party. It's like it starts with Angryfoot, and then he could bring other people into the mix that come from different walks of life, whether it's a Panamanian freaking superhero or a Cuban superhero. You never know, bro. Like, I just want
Yeah.
to dream big. Who says you have to limit yourself to only, one aspect of storytelling? No one. I don't care. I want to continue building a bridge between different communities and bring in fandom and nerdom and geek mode to the masses and do it in a way where everybody gets a piece of representation, and we celebrate and we highlight the beauty that is the mosaic of cultural representation.
Oh man, I can imagine a Kuna Indian from Panama with all the molas and stuff like the designs.
Exactly. Yeah.
That would
That's
be
dope. Yeah.
insane.
Yeah.
That
That
would
is
be
badass,
insane.
man. That's
Yeah.
like, yeah,
It's
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 super
awesome.
exciting to see all that energy coming into, like you said, the cultural representation into different media, and with your character, there's potential for maybe an animated series, maybe a
Yeah.
video game. That statue that you got produced, that was sculpted by Brandon Gash, right?
Yeah, Brian DeGash, Sideshow Collectible did the actual beautiful piece. A shout out to my people at Sideshow. David Vonner designed Angryfoot. And it was a cool ping pong session when we came to designing the character. I told him I want Bruce Lee meets Mad Max meets Billy Jack. Like those are the three visual components that I wanted. Billy Jack being Tom Holland Tom. What's his name? Is it Tom? Starts with an H. Look up Billy Jack, right? He was a character from the 80s. It was Charles Bronson, Chuck Norris, Bruce Lee, and then you had uh, Billy Jack. It was Tom Laughlin. That was his name, Tom Laughlin. Yeah, there it is. There's Angry Foot right there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it looks fantastic, man. It
Thank you,
looks
bro.
awesome. It
So I
looks
wanted to
awesome.
bring that energy. And if you see, his arm has turquoise as the
Mhm.
power.
Yeah.
Turquoise is the element. And even the axe, the battle axe is turquoise. It's a turquoise element that is a strong um, a nod to my community as a Hopi in Arizona. I know that the difference between the southwestern tribes is that the southwestern tribes, like the Navajo and the Hopi and some of the Pueblo, they use turquoise as their stone. But the
Okay.
northwestern tribes, whether we're talking about like in the Midwest or upper north, those are beadwork. So you won't see a lot of turquoise with the northern tribes. It's usually the southwestern tribes. So I wanted to make sure that the geography of it really made sense to this guy really having an Arizona backbone because my grandmother was from Arizona. So his story starts in Jerome, Arizona, and in a mining town where they find the elements of turquoise that have been molded into his body now and
Okay.
fused.
That's awesome that you say that because I was about to ask you that same question. I
Yeah.
was like, well, what's the timeline where this character is living in life? Like he's in our era or he's in the future or where?
He's a man out of time. He's from the 1800s, and
Okay.
then he gets. I have like yeah. So he gets thrown into the future, like kind of like how what do you call it? How Terminator was in the sense where it's
Okay.
like jumping timelines. Um, but I wanted to do it where it's like he starts in a certain era where there is no technology like this, and then he gets thrown into 3008 or whatever era that is. We don't really have a full story. I just have a backstory right now, and I could send you a briefing. Do you want me to send it to you right now so you could read it to the people?
That would be great,
Yeah,
man. That would be great.
sure.
Yeah. That would be
Yeah.
great because
So let
I
me
mean, at the end of the day, I love
stop
like
right now.
yeah. One of the things that I really love is like I'm a journalist, right? Originally, like I was graduated as a journalist, but life took me to the actual, took me to the actual martial arts stuff. But yeah, I mean, it's more like telling a story.
Yeah.
Like telling a story is so important. Be like a storyteller with your character, especially you that you're a writer. You know how to keep people, like attached to certain characters and everything. And it's like, at least to me, so important to have that. We lost Taboo.
Yeah, I think he's probably
He's trying to connect to the and share the image of the
got
story.
it here. I got
You
it
got
here.
it?
Yeah, I'll read it. So it's the turquoise energy coursing through his veins.
Okay.
Jim, Jim Luis Angryfoot donned the mantle of a superhero, becoming the guardian of both past and future. He wields his newfound powers to harness the elements, channeling energy into powerful blasts, creating protective barriers, and healing the wounds of the earth itself. That's awesome. But
Wow.
beyond his strengths, Angryfoot's true power lies in his wisdom and connection to his people. He fights to awaken humanity to the ancient truths and balance technology and futurism needed to save both the planet and themselves. As he battles the world's injustice with courage and heart, Jim Luis Angryfoot stands as a beacon of hope, guiding us all toward a future where harmony reigns between mankind and the Mother Earth. Bro, that's
Wow.
powerful right there. That's
Thank
awesome.
you, dude. Yeah, so that whole like backstory was something that I created to like kind of give them like when I really get into feature film or animation or comic book, there's a springboard so that I collaborate with whoever it is that can take it to the next level as a director or a screenwriter because like I'm not precious, bro. I want the if somebody comes in that's actually gonna bring it to the next level, then let's go, bro. I'm not like I need to write it. No, no, no. Let's bring in someone that is at a high level that deals with if it's a Marvel universe guy or a person that is with Sony or whoever it is. I'm all about collaboration. I started it. I know where it's coming from. I own the IP, but at the end of the day, I want to make sure that it's in the right hands, the right partnership, so that I can actually live it out and see it really big, not just like on YouTube. It's got to be something big, bro.
Yeah, it's amazing because looking at you, looking at this character, and listening to you, listening the story and everything, and how you create this character and where you come from and everything else, it makes me think that you actually are like making a reality, a dream
Yeah.
of you're looking at yourself of a as a superhero. Like
Mm.
that's the dream of every kid. Like
Yeah.
when you have a kid that always look at his action figures like Hulk. You always ask like my niece and everybody like, hey, who you are? And he's like, I'm the Hulk. I'm Spider-Man. I'm whatever. Like having this opportunity to create your own character based on yourself, make it a superhero, and having this backstory. I mean, it's kind of like making your dreams come true when you
Yeah.
were little, right?
Yeah, well, the idea of like, I feel like I'm a cat with nine lives, bro, and I'm being honest with you guys. I like to be transparent and candid with the viewers. So I had a kid at 17 years old, and I am in no way condoning teen pregnancy. It just happened that I, was a young parent. I started my career at 19, and my motivation was to be able to take care of my son, Josh. Although I was counted out, I felt like that was my first life, right? Like I needed to overcome that as a teen
Yeah.
parent. So I created Black Eyed Peas with my band Will I Am and Apple, and we started our journey as Black Eyed Peas at 19. So that was my first life that I kind of like, oh wait, I'm not supposed to be this guy because I'm a teen parent and I'm the only kid graduating my high school class with a kid. So I was already like people already counted me out. The second time was I battled addiction for many years and then I became sober in 2007. And so I was supposed to be counted out because in the music industry or in entertainment, once you become an addict, sometimes you don't bounce back. Robert Downey Jr. being a prime example of like bouncing back.
Yes.
Iron Man, shout out
Yeah.
to Iron Man. So that was my second life. My third life was when I battled cancer in 2014. And then I did chemotherapy, battled for 12 weeks, 5 days a week, 6 hours a day. I overcame that, and now I've been in remission for 11 years. So
Wow.
all those three lives kind of let me know, like, yo, dude, Creator or God is allowing me to continue championing on so that I can be a beacon of light, so I can be some form of example to my communities to never stop fighting, to always have resilience, to always have that willpower, to continue championing the idea of being a hero to communities. And whether it's me or a teacher or a parent, a grandparent, I feel like heroes need to be championed. And so this is just a metaphor of the life that I'm living, overcoming these obstacles and saying those were minor setbacks to have a bigger comeback.
Man, that is
So
just
inspiring,
so
man.
so awesome because you know what? You're a human being. You
Yes,
know,
sir.
you're authentic. And even though people look at you in some ways like, oh my God, he's up there, he's like, like out of my range, whatever. You're living the same situations that
Yes, sir.
like everyday person is
Yep.
living, like, and that makes you human. That makes you great. And having the message that you have to everybody. I lost my dad with cancer. My wife lost her dad with cancer too. You
Who
know,
hasn't
uh,
lost someone
man,
to cancer?
I deal with situations from back in the days, like, and it give you or give everybody else that look at you and listen to you the opportunity to, if he passed through all of that, you know, and I'm right now living in this situation, I can do it too. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
It's like it is a really good message, a beautiful message to
Thank you.
all the community, to everybody, to the everyday people. I mean, I really need to applaud you for that because it's really, really awesome, man.
Thank you, brother. And it's coming from a very vulnerable place. I'm not I'm not one to shy away from my imperfections, from my landmines that I stepped on, from my flaws, from the mistakes that I've made. Because at the end of the day, we want to be able to give people the sense of a human story, a story that people can relate to. Not I'm flying in private jets or I'm playing the Super Bowl or all the things that I've done in my professional life, because that doesn't make me, bro. At the end of the day, I'm Jamie's husband. I'm Journey, Jet, Jalen, and Joshua's dad, and I'm a toy guy, and I'm a freaking, I'm a guy that likes to lead with love, humility, vulnerability. Before I get into any glamour or any professional life, like, dude, I'm Jimmy Gomez, and that's who I am. And at the end of the day, I was blessed to be able to embark on this journey as a Black IP. But that's one small element. Even though many people may be like, "Oh, that's the biggest element." No, no, no. At the end of the day, if I died, that's not going with me, bro. What's going with me is the memories that I've shared, creating, memories with my family and my best friends, and all those, that accumulation of great stories. Because at the end of the day, we're creating stories, guys. And whether it's design, whether it's podcast, whether it's freaking reading comics, like, it's all part of our story. And if we can champion that idea, and if we can inspire those people to continue being geeks just like us, then we're doing a great job being storytellers.
Oh my God, that's
Absolutely.
inspiring, man. That's really inspiring, honestly.
That's beautiful, man. And it really inspires, it inspires everybody because coming from someone, like you said, that a lot of people consider to be a star, to be, upper echelon kind of person, you're so humble and so grounded to the earth, and you're sharing so much love with the public and
Yes, sir.
everybody just through different media. I know your daughter's involved in entertainment.
Yes.
Shout out to her. That's amazing.
Yeah, man. Oh, dude, it's such a blessing, bro. And I know you guys are girl dads too.
Yeah.
So I would love to speak on that before I have to go, bro. I know we've been on this for a minute, but
100%,
Oh,
100%.
I
yeah.
I have been blessed, ladies and gentlemen that are tuned in. I have been blessed to be able to work with my son, Jimmy Jalen, who's my oldest son, 16-year-old. Um, I worked on Spirit Rangers on Netflix with him. It was the first preschool, um, all native animation series on Netflix, and that was the first thing that I did with one of my kids. The
That's
next
amazing.
thing I did was I got to work with my daughter, who is now 9. Her name is Jet, on Dora, the new Dora series, and we got to act together. We we play these two birds. I'm Quickatu, and that's Quickatina. And to be able to
That's
work with my
awesome.
daughter, bro, like it was a dream come true because I see how invested she was, the direction that she took from the director. She was really focused, she was locked in, and it was cool to be able to work with her and have that opportunity. And I think we're going to continue doing more work together. I want to encourage her. I want to make her feel secure and safe and let her know that every step of the way I'm going to be there with her. I'll protect her. I will nurture her. If this is something that she's passionate about, you best believe that I'm going to be at the forefront with her, championing her.
That's amazing, and like you said, like being a dad, like a girl's dad, right? Like, for example, me with my daughter, man, I'm never missing. I will never miss a presentation of my daughter. We travel with her all over United States.
Yep.
I'm that dance dad wearing a shirt that says we have actually like a thing at the school that I have a shirt that says Vicky, your dad is here, right? Because
Nice.
all the girls at the studio, I always pick up my daughter in the studio. So everybody says, Vicky, your dad is here. So I
Yeah.
wear that shirt every time
That's
she
awesome.
have a competition,
Yeah.
right? And man, I'm so proud, and I will always support her in her journey because I mean that to me, like you said, just like you said about creating memories, we change our lifestyle as when my father-in-law passed,
Mhm.
right? Because he was always a guy that was always dreaming on doing stuff, right?
Yeah.
He was like, "Oh, I want to do this when I retire. I want to do this. I want to do this." But he got cancer and he passed, right? So me and my wife, we were like, "Listen, we need to do something." So what we do is like we create memories.
Yes,
We
sir.
travel a lot, we travel places, we do stuff that we usually or the regular families will not do just to create memories because at the end of the day that's what you take with you,
Hmm.
you know.
Yeah, man, and honestly, that's the simplicity of where I'm at in my life. I made peace with that part that was egocentric when I battled cancer. In our industry, a lot of it is based on me, my time, uh, the sacrifice of being away from your family because you're touring and you're building your professional life. But once I battled cancer, I shed my ego and I surrendered myself to the idea of like I need to be present in my kid's life. The professional life will always be there. I don't want to ever put my job before my family because then it sacrifices that. And at the end of the day, who am I? I'm a husband and a father, bro. Before I am the guy on stage, I sleep with my wife
Yes.
every day, and we're having these conversations about how we become better parents, how we become better in our relationship as husband and wife. Because dude, I'm still learning, bro. This is a student, daily being a student, never being complacent, always wanting to learn, being a better version of yourself each day, and wanting to understand that there's going to be lessons in life that will be put in front of you. But it's like, how do you continue just building that bridge and connecting with not only your wife or your kids, but also with the people out there that are looking to you for inspiration? Because you never know, you can inspire one person. Next thing you know, you're inspiring the next person. Next thing you know, you're inspiring millions of people. And salute to you guys for your. I saw that you had 3 million views or something like that, 2 million something,
Henry.
Me.
right? That was
Yeah.
awesome, dude. Congratulations, bro. I know how hard it is to get 1 million, and
Thank
the
you.
fact that you guys got, that many eyeballs tuning in and watching your content and being part of this beautiful journey that you call your podcast. It's really dope. I'm just honored, bro. I don't want to take too much time because I know my daughter's waiting for me, but I just want to thank you guys. I wanted to say one more thing. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm proud to announce that I've been out for 2 months with my podcast. It's called Taboos, Comics, and Kicks. And I'm very honored that I got the opportunity to partner up with my producer. His name is Brian. And we created a beautiful hub of, you know, comic book conversations, storytelling, superheroes, action figures, collectibles, conversations around, things that happen to all the guests that have come aboard, whether it's voiceover actors, whether it's Nickelodeon stars, whether it's Steven Spielberg stars like Rufio from Hook, superstars like Tia Carrera from Wayne's World and Lilo and Stitch that grossed $1 billion in the box office. Um, it's a blessing, bro. It's a blessing to be able to give these people a platform, and also them being on my platform so that we could give a voice to people that are geeks and toy nerds just like me and just like us. So salute to everybody that's subscribed to my YouTube channel, Taboo's Comics and Kicks. Thank you guys for allowing me to participate in this beautiful journey with you guys.
Well,
The
thank
you
you.
know the 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 beauty that is this camaraderie and this friendship. I think Addicts Anonymous, you guys are great for our people around the world. Toy Addicts Anonymous is the podcast and the hub for us to celebrate and honor those people just like us.
Wow, thank you so much, man. Thank you so much.
And I'm going to share, Taboo, the link to your channel because
Yes,
we
sir.
want to make sure everybody is subscribing to this awesome channel. One thing that I want to say, I'm super entertained by watching your podcast because you are exposing people in the industry, whether it be musicians, actors, what have you, that are actually geeks in one way or another, whether it's in sneakers, music, or actual collectibles. And that's awesome to kind of like you like open up that curtain and expose certain people that you're like, oh wow, this guy collects too, and
Yeah.
this guy, I didn't know, that this actor, is a collector, or he collects sneakers. So it's
You,
awesome
you
to
know
see
what?
that other side.
You know what's crazy is I'm gonna just give you a little. One of the things that was so inspiring about one of my guests, um, who started off as a rapper in the '80s. His name is Kwame. And
Yes,
Kwame is a pioneer of hip hop, right? He's one of the OGs. He was the polka dot kid. Polka dots came into play in the 80s, 90s, and everybody was rocking polka dots. Everybody had, the high top fade with the streak in their hair, and that was because of Kwame. But Kwame, not only is he a toy collector, he's a designer, and his mind for the business side of creating sculpture and the tools that are needed and the type of the business model behind creating toys and action figures. For me, it blew me away, bro, because we also need the nerdy numerics and algorithm and all the things that are not just the toys itself, but also the science and the numerics that go behind the business around toys and what it takes to actually manufacture and where they're being manufactured and the time frame and the amount of money that goes into just one sculpture to create a head on an action figure or a freaking gun or a hand. These are things that we don't even think about. We just go into like, oh, this action figure is like, whatever, like $20 or $25. But how much did it make? How much time, how much resin, how much plastic, how much rubber did it take to make these action figures, and where was it made? And the attention to detail is something that I geek out on because I want to be also well-rounded on the business model behind the toy business.
absolutely.
That's
Yeah, the logistics behind creating toys and versus actually purchasing toys is a completely different world.
Yes,
Carlos and
sir.
I are learning little by little about tooling, about mold
Yep,
making, and it's a whole new thing that you got to get it right because those numerics, like you said, they have to balance
they
because
do.
you can produce something and then end up owing money on the back
Exactly.
end. So you got to make sure everything balances out.
A-
But yeah, man,
And
it's
and honestly, the tariffs are not helping. So
no,
if you
not
if
at all.
you if you're manufacturers in China or overseas, it gets to the point where you have a delay on your product, and then you have all these infractions of like, well, it's not going to meet my deadline or my timeline, and now you're set back with your product or your inventory that is
Yeah,
stuck in customs or whatever because of these horrible tariffs that are happening.
very
no,
well.
no, you're totally right. Like we're right now in like we know and understand what's going on now behind the scenes, because we're like we
Yeah.
mentioned, we're trying to make our own toy line, and it's difficult. It's difficult, and it's something that Jorge says is like money. So you need to be sharp with
Yes,
those
sir.
numbers, because
Yep.
you don't want to have like a setback with anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's difficult. It's hard and interesting and complicated.
It is. And I love it, dude. I'm like, I didn't go to college, bro. I started my career at a young age, and I felt like, I learned I from the school of hard knocks. I had to experience things, and so my experiences were my college, traveling the world, being on these big stages. But now I'm going into this toy college, which is not just the collector side, not just the fan side, but also the business side, and what it takes to create the sculpture, and what the difference between a scale, the price pointing of a 12-inch scale, 16 scale, or like a smaller scale. These are the things that, for me, as a person that wants to get into the business, because it is a business, and I look at it as a viable business, and I can't stress enough how much it is a business, because you take your love and your nostalgia of it, and then you say to yourself, I want to have fun making, something that inspires me, that inspires others. But at the end of the day, if I can have a successful business around it, and really bring joy to others, and it's through this, then I want to do that. And I want to learn as much as I can, so that I can continue chipping away at this. And maybe in 10 years, I have my own, manufacturing, or whatever it is that you can dream of, toy line, toy design company, all these different things that you can dream of. And if you put your mind forward, and you put your positive thinking, and you put your hours in, I think it could come to fruition. No matter what scale of success it is, as long as you keep chipping away at it, it will become a reality.
Absolutely, man. Hey, Taboo, it's been so awesome sharing this time with you. Thank you so much for taking the time.
Thank
You
you,
got
bro.
your beautiful family waiting for you, and thank you for joining us today. It's been really inspiring and just really humbling to sit down
Thank
and
you, bro.
talk to you today, man.
Appreciate you.
Yeah,
Thank you, guys. And un
yeah.
saludo a la comunidad latina. Un abrazo.
So
Gracias por apoyar a Black Eyed Peas, y al éxito de estos chavos, mis hermanos, The Toy Addict Anonymous. Gracias. Un saludo.
Gracias, man.
gracias, mil gracias.
Peace.
All right.
So man, that was a blast.
Yeah.
So well, guys, thank you so much for being here. Man, it was a solid show. We love it. We love Taboo, man. We love what he's doing. I mean, I can't wait for like to see like everything that is going on with his Toyland, with his character, with his comics, with his project, with his daughter. I mean, it's also insane. It's amazing. Man, what do you think, JP?
No, just amazing. I'm pitching myself. He is so humble. He is so human, so grounded. And like he embraces, the hobby and the love for collectibles, and it's really awesome to be able to like share screen time with him and talk to him and learn about his triumphs and his problems, the things that the struggles that he's gone through in his life. For sure, we got to make sure we give a lot of love to his channel,
Yep,
Taboo Comics and Kicks. I sent you the link, Carlos. You can post it up on there so
yep,
people can make sure they follow. Click on the link. It's going to be in the description of the video. Make sure you follow. It's really entertaining, because what I like about these podcasts is he actually has his guest come into his studio. So they're sitting across from each other talking about things. And then he has a table in the back where he showcases all sorts of collectibles. So depending on the guest that he has on, he has collectibles that are stuff that his guest is what he likes the most.
oh, that's
He was
awesome.
talking about, like, there was previous guests where the guy was really into Thundercats, so he had Thundercat stuff in the background. So I haven't seen all the videos yet, but I definitely got to sit down and watch them. I know um, he had the kid from Married with Children, um, Fustino. He was on there, and he's a big hip hop head, so he had a bunch of hip hop collectibles in the background. With Kwame, he had all sorts of stuff because Kwame collects from Migos to McFarlane to Star Wars. Kwame collects all sorts of stuff, kind of like me, where we're like all over the place.
Like
Uh,
off.
but yeah, it's a definitely entertaining podcast. It's really fun. It's different again because both guests are face to face in a studio versus being on camera
It's
in
more
different.
personal. It's more personal, and I you know what, I like his approach to life in general, because that's pretty much what I apply in my life. So I really identify myself what he's doing with his family and everything. So it's
Absolutely.
really awesome, man. He's really awesome. Such a humble person. I mean, again, we're like pinching ourselves to have him on the show. I mean, we're blessed. Again, I need to thank everybody for the support, and please go to his channel, support his podcast, go to his Instagram. Okay, Taboo, go there. I mean, he has a very cool Instagram. He put some clips also from his show, which is really really awesome too. But yeah, I mean, like he said, be proud to be a collector, be proud to be a geek, man. Don't hide behind a rock or anything like that. Feel proud, like live your life. Life is too short, and we need to enjoy it to the max. If you have the support from your family, your friends and everything, man, go ahead and be yourself. That's what it is. And talking about toys, JP, what do you have today to show?
So I just got this. I'm surprised how fast it came, man. But I got the Masterverse Moss Man from
Man,
Mattel.
that box is
It,
insane.
it's the first time that I get one of these Mattel Creations exclusives, and I think this one sold out actually. Uh,
Really.
yeah, I believe so. I want to say, is this Iman that did the packaging for this?
Emon did the package.
Yeah, man, this is beautiful, dude. The way the presentation, I love how
Oh,
when you open it
the insert is insane too.
and it's got the insert part, and then you all you do is remove this, and you got your figure.
But you
Bam.
know what reminds me? It reminds me kind of like Man Thing, right?
Yeah, man thing, swamp thing, Um, he has scent.
Really, I try to smell mine and it doesn't smell.
I think he smells different than other plastic figures. He smells. He's got sort of a.
That's him.
He's got sort of a piney smell to him.
It looks awesome. They reused the Beastman body
Mhm.
with different head, different hands, and different feet. And but it looks fantastic, man.
No,
I
it's a
did,
really
I did
cool
already a
figurine.
review. I did already a review. But you know what? I'm gonna show what I got just to bug you a little bit.
Oh, you bastard. Well, actually, I got lucky. Well, I got lucky. I didn't get lucky. They put them back on Walmart.com, but dude, they bumped them up $5 more.
What? How
Yeah,
much
they
was
were, they were 29.99. But
what?
I didn't think twice because I really wanted that figure, so I just
Well,
ordered it.
this figure is awesome. And what I like the most is that it's collectors friendly.
Yeah,
So
it's coming in today.
yeah, I already reviewed this figure and put it back in the package just
Yeah,
because I love the package. Man, it's so vintage. Look at this, man. All the artwork is so amazing. I really love this figure, to be honest with you. Also, check this out. I got the early sample of the Cesare Studios Gladiator. This is the wave. This is the second run, the 2.0. And man, this figure looks incredible. It's just awesome. I love it. I love it. So yeah, man, like really, really cool show. I mean, there's,
dude,
I think like what happened? Why you're laughing?
because you know, this is something that Carlos and I have like we kept under wraps. We didn't want to build any hype for it or anything because at the end of the day, um, we were just humbled and blessed to have such an amazing guest on here, and really, everybody was taken by surprise. We didn't advertise this because we wanted to, dedicate this time to having a good conversation about collectibles and geekdom with our awesome guest. We didn't want to be having people asking him questions and stuff like that. And I think everything worked out great. For those who missed it, you could definitely catch this on replay. It was amazing, and hopefully we get to do it again soon with him. Who knows? I know he. I think he's going to have some sort of event at Comic Con where he wants to bring Taboo's Comics and Kicks to San Diego. I think what his plan was, if I don't not mistaken, was he wants to have kind of like a studio, how they do at Comic Con, where he's upstairs and he'll actually do his streaming and stuff from up there. Like you'll have like a little kind of living room set up, and he does those interviews live from Comic Con. That's
That's insane.
yeah.
That's insane.
Um,
Well, man. Again, I mean, to everybody, thank you so much for being here. I'm sorry that I didn't show the actual chat because I was kind of like concentrated in this interview. I'm so sorry, guys, but I just hope you enjoy this show. Man, again, follow Taboo. His podcast is Taboo Comics and Kicks, correct?
yes.
I'm gonna put the description or the link on the description on the video. Man, follow him. He's doing great stuff, not just for like his the geek community, but also for like the mental health of everybody. Because what he's doing is amazing. The message he had for everybody is amazing. Just follow him. Check that out. Is way more than music. It's way more than action figures. It's way more than comics. It's the message behind, and I really love it, man. And it's so inspiring. So yeah, guys, again,
Make sure you pick up if you read comics. Make sure you pick up Werewolf by Night and
welcome by night. Yes.
the all new Echo comic series. It's that's going to be really awesome. It's called Seeker of Truth, Echo Seeker of Truth.
And
Of
follow him on Instagram. His Instagram is insane. It's really awesome too.
course,
So again, guys, thank you so much for watching. I mean, we really appreciate all your support as always. JP, any last message?
enjoy your Labor Day, guys. Make sure you hold your family tight. Enjoy your time. We live in a crazy world right now, but it's things like these moments that we just had right now. These are the moments that help us like clear our minds and not think of all the negative stuff that's happening in the world.
Correct.
These are the therapeutic moments that are priceless, that we just sit down and talk about nothing but positivity and you know like good feelings and good memories and nostalgia and awesome plastic action figures that keep us spending tons of money that we shouldn't be. But it makes us happy, man. Like Taboo said, he spent, what did he say? He dropped 3K on the USS Flag. I'm
And
gonna
that's
tell you, and I didn't get a chance to tell him, but it's like I would love to transcend to a point where I could actually collect some vintage stuff. I would love to get vintage Thundercats figures on card and stuff like that. But obviously, that's something that's not within uh, the budget range of things that I can afford. So I buy the more modern stuff and the current stuff. But yeah, man, like just embrace your be geek proud, right? And make sure that you hold on to that. That's the most important thing. That's therapy for life, and it's just something that'll keep us just staying positive, staying happy, being all about family. You know what I mean? That's what we should all focus on right now. It's not about what's on the news or politics. Focus on what makes you happy, guys. So
friends
thank
and
you.
family. Take care, guys. Thank you so much for being here. See you till the next show.